So you just bought a freeze dryer. Now what? Your Harvest Right freeze dryer comes with everything that you need to start freeze drying on day one. But I've been freeze drying for almost 2 years now, and there are definitely some items, accessories, things that I have purchased that have made my freeze drying journey so much better, so much easier, and are, I feel, necessities. I've got 10 items on that list. I also have one wish list item, 2 items that are not necessities, but things that I have really enjoyed, and something that I thought I really wanted and would use and purchased it, but I've literally only used it one time and don't really think that it was the best buy. Starting at number 1, tray liners. I pretty much use a tray liner every time I put something in my freeze dryer, whether it is candy, food, liquids. I use a tray liner. It prevents things from sticking and helps you be able to remove the food easier from your trays. This is a tray liner from Harvest Right. This is a tray liner from Amazon. This is made of more of a fiberglass material. I like that it is sturdy. It's easier for me to pick up and like scoop food out of, and they're easier to wash just because they're sturdy. These are made of silicone, which they feel a lot softer, luxurious, nicer material, but you can see they're much more flimsy and just not as easy to work with. I use them both equally. I honestly, when one's dirty, I use the other one, and when one is ready, I use the other one. But they're both great. These ones run about $30, I think, on the Harvest Right website. These are about $15. I honestly like having both. There is one other liner that I use strictly for candy. When you freeze dry with candy, it works so much better when you use parchment paper to line your sheets. Just trust me, it puffs up much more beautifully when you use parchment paper. I'm obsessed with these pre-cut liners that are also from Amazon. They're the perfect shape for your tray. You just have to choose what size of trays you have, and they work great and are very affordable. But you also could use regular parchment from the grocery store and just cut it yourself. It just takes longer. The second item that I purchased that I think everyone should have if you're gonna be using your freeze dryer a lot is an extra set of trays. It's really nice to have a backup set of trays because a lot of times if I am pre-freezing food in my freezer but still wanting to run something in my freeze dryer, I can do both of those things at the same time. I have really been glad to have 2 sets of trays versus just one. It took me about a year to buy my second set of trays, but once I finally pulled the plug and bought them, I was so glad that I did. Coming in at number 3 are my tray lids. These are so nice because they can snap on to the top of your tray. If I could do it. It's really not this hard. There we go. I use these almost every time that I use my freeze dryer because I'm typically preparing the food up in my kitchen, which is upstairs. I then put my tray lids on each tray, stack them up all together so that I could carry them down to my basement where my freeze dryer is in one easy load. They're also very nice to have for when you are pre-freezing things in your freezer because they allow you to stack up your trays and put them in the freezer on one shelf all together. And as a bonus, these can actually be used as a tray in your freeze dryer. I have only ran candy on here. Skittles work great on these types of trays, but who knew? You could use this as a tray. Item number 4, if you don't want to invest in those tray lids, there is a more affordable option to be able to stack up your trays, which you can get from Amazon. These are little plastic tray risers, and they work by putting these little pieces in the corners of your trays, and then you can set your next tray. So you can still stack up your trays with these. I just find them to be a little more finicky than at the convenience of the tray lids, but these are a good option that you can get on Amazon that work great too for pre-freezing and carrying them around. Coming in at number 5, a digital kitchen scale. I would say this is a must-have item. It is a way for you to be able to tell if your food is fully freeze-dried or not. So when you think your food is done, you pull out your trays, weigh them, put them back in for a couple more hours, pull them out again and weigh them. If the weight stays the same, you know all the moisture has been removed from the food and it is fully dried and good to go. If the weight is still changing, then that means moisture is still being removed and it needs more time. This is golden to me. And any digital kitchen scale will work. It just needs to be able to give you weight in grams or ounces. It's great. It also comes in handy when you are bagging up candy because I like to weigh the candy that I'm putting in to make sure that my bags are all even. So multi-use tool here. Now that we're halfway through, how about I tell you the item that I purchased that I really, for me personally, don't think was necessarily worth it. Please don't be mad at me, but these. They're really fun to play with. It's kind of like one of those sensory toys, but these are silicone molds that they fit perfectly on your freeze dryer tray, and it's good for when you want things in cube shapes. But I don't know, I just don't ever use it. It was nice when I freeze dried caramel M&Ms because you could separate each of them evenly in their own little place. But the caramel M&Ms work fine when I just freeze dry them on my tray. I did use these when I freeze dried, I think it was the bone broth that I did. I pre-froze them in the cubes, but then some of my wonderful viewers told me it is best to, when you actually freeze dry it, pop them out of the cubes first and then put them on your tray and freeze dry them that way without these in there, because once they're dried in these cubes, to push them out, they just become a crumbly mess. So if you have a use for them, they could be great. I just haven't found personally a good use for them yet to make them worth the $80 investment. Coming in at number 6 are Myer bags. When you purchase your machine, it comes with these bags from Harvest Right, which are very nice quality. They work great, but this is the only size you get. So you're definitely gonna want different sizes and different styles of Myer bags for the different things that you are packaging. I have really liked these bags from Amazon. They come in a pack of like 100, I think, and you get this giant size. You can see it compared to this. And what is really nice about these is the bottom is gusseted. And so when you fill it up, your food can stand up on its own. So it comes with this size. It comes with, not that one. Am I out? Okay, I actually just ordered a new pack because I ran out. It comes with a quart size and then another like half pint size or pint size. I don't know. It's 3 different sizes, but these have been my favorite Amazon Myer bags. They're nice and thick, sturdy. They have a zip top closure. When it comes to candy, you want a bag with a clear front window so that your customers can see the beautiful candy that is inside. I really like these bags from Amazon because they have that gusseted bottom and they fit really nicely when you have big puffy items. I use the non-gusseted bags for smaller candies like Skittles, Nerds gummy clusters, that kind of thing. These hold 4 ounces of freeze-dried Skittles perfectly. This is a 4.5 by 7.5 inch sized bag. These, I believe, are 5 by 8. There's also tons of different sizes. I use these 3 by 5 bags for just like smaller kind of sample sizes when people just want to purchase like a small little taste of candy. I like to have different options for people. For number 8, I'm bringing you over to my very disorganized shelving unit over here, but storage containers. I have so many of them, but they are definitely needed for storing your candy, your food, all of the things. I really love these white ones because they fit these candy bags so perfectly. I got these at Target when I first got my freeze dryer, so almost 2 years ago, and they do not sell these anymore. They were super cheap and worked perfectly. I've been trying to find similar ones. They sell these at Walmart, which are nice. They're just really big, but they're good for like throwing in a bunch of stuff. I really like these containers. I got these at the Costco Business Center. And like, if I have just done a full run of like Skittles, I'll just dump them in here and then package it from there. They're just a good holding place for candy while you're working on your packaging. And then this is my prepper stash, as I like to call it, where all of my freeze-dried food actually is. I keep my candy in my freeze dryer room. My food goes in here. These bins are from Target. This is that Walmart bin. I believe these clear ones were from Walmart. I have a label maker, and so I just label what's in here. I've got meals, meat, all kinds of stuff. So bins are really useful. Coming in at number 9, we've got oxygen absorbers, a necessity for your freeze drying journey. These you can get inexpensively on Amazon. You just want to check the cc amount of oxygen that each absorber will hold. These ones are 400 cc's. The absorbers from Harvest Right are 700, and they fit that like 7 by 10 size bag. So these are fine for smaller bags. If I'm using a larger bag, I will just use multiple oxygen absorbers. I really like these ones because they come in small packages of 5, so that I don't like when it's just like a bunch of absorbers in one bag. Because when you pull them out to use them, then the other ones start getting exposed to oxygen and go bad faster. So I really like this pack. Before we get to number 10, here is a quick speed round of things that are not necessarily necessities, but things I use all the time that are convenient. Food service gloves for when you are packaging candy and need to be sanitary. Mason jars. A lot of times I store my freeze-dried food in mason jars. So mason jars. Sharpie. This is what I can never find when I am trying to label my bags. And this color is terrible because it does not show up. I need to buy the giant pack of Sharpies from Costco because I can never find a black Sharpie. A canning funnel is really nice to put on top of your jar, or a Mylar bag to fill your freeze-dried food with. Isopropyl alcohol. This is what I use to clean my freeze dryer. I just dilute it down with water, use a microfiber rag, and that is what I use to clean the shelves, the outside, and the inside of my freeze dryer. Because you need to use a non-abrasive cleaner. This does the job. And coming in at number 10, my new portable jar vacuum sealer. I demonstrated this in my last video and it worked great. It comes with a regular mouth setting and a wide mouth setting. You simply put the device on top of your jar with a lid on. You start it up, you seal it for at least 40 seconds and it removes the air and creates a nice tight seal. Prior to that, I was using my food saver with the jar attachment and that worked fine too. It was just a pain because it's a big bulky device and I would have to pull it out every time I went to use it to seal up my jars. And so this is just so convenient and nice to have. I can do it right here in my freeze dryer room and get all of my things done in one sitting. It's awesome. There you have it, my top 10 must-have accessories for your freeze drying journey. But before I give you my 2 wish list items, yes, I thought of another one that I actually already have, but it might be a wish list item for you. So I have 2 wish list items, but it's time to unveil the official name of my freeze dryer. Yes, I named my freeze dryer. This is a member of my family now, so it needed a name. Let me tell you. May I introduce you to Vanilla Ice. I know I'm crazy, but every freeze dryer needs a name, and we got Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. And I couldn't be more happy. I'm gonna stand here by Vanilla Ice while I tell you my wish list item number 1, which is the freeze-dried food funnel that you can get from freeze-drying-supplies.com. I will have that listed here, but it's essentially a tall funnel that you can put over a bag, dump your entire tray into the funnel, and it will fall nicely into your either jar or your Mylar bag, whatever you're using. I have just found that when I am packaging my freeze-dried food, I make a huge mess all over my table over here. I think the funnel will really help. And a lot of you recommended it to me in one of my previous videos, said that you have it and you absolutely love it and it works so well. So I'm gonna be ordering that soon and I'll be able to demonstrate it in a future video, but that's my wish list item number 1. So my final wish list item is my Avid Armor Chamber Vacuum Sealer. This thing was a major upgrade from my Food Saver. It seals your bags so much better than a Food Saver does, and you can seal Mylar bags in here, which is so cool. You also can vacuum seal jars in here, which I'm sure works better than even my little portable jar sealer. But I can only fit small jars on its side in here, the like pint and half pint size. Half pint might fit, I don't know. It doesn't fit jars. I would need a bigger one to fit a normal sized mason jar in here, but I love this. And Avid Armor has kindly given me a 10% off discount code to share with my viewers. I will have that linked here and in the video description box down below. If a chamber sealer is something that's on your wish list for the upcoming holiday season, can't go wrong here. Do you want to see a not pleasant sight? The snow on the mountains there in the distance. It kind of is blending in with the clouds, but yeah, that's snow. Winter is coming. If you're new around here, I live in Alaska and we are in full fall mode. If I missed any freeze drying items that you're obsessed with that didn't make my top 10 list, please leave it in the comments down below so we could share all of the things that will help all of us freeze dry society members. Everything that I talked about in today's video will be linked either on this video itself or down in the video description box below. If you're interested in purchasing a freeze dryer itself, I have the size medium, which I absolutely love. It is from Harvest Dry. That is also going to be linked down below. Remember, when you freeze dry today, you secure your tomorrow. I will catch you on the next video. Bye, friends.